I saw something this week that stopped me in my tracks. As somebody who's been into personal development for most of her life, who's been into creation, who's been into self empowerment, I would like to read this to you from my friend John Morgan. It comes from his Facebook page. When I moved to Santa Monica 10 years ago, I was shocked by the number of homeless people there. Since our apartment faced a main street, a couple of times we even had people camping out and shooting up on our patio. Besides petitioning the town to let us build a wall in front of our apartment, I also wanted to get free from my judgment of the, quote, unresourceful victimhood occurring on my literal doorstep. So I volunteered at the nearest homeless shelter. Once a week, I went and handed out a lunch, clothes, or toiletries to the zombies that lined up along the nondescript buildings a stone's throw from the interstate. And when I first read that little piece, it bugged me. Many of them were silent, but some had voices that boomed over the cars whooshing by on the highway. I was mostly silent too, especially at first. Plenty of talking occurred in my head, but thanks to my reason for being there, I was aware enough to watch the firework of my thinking. As I got used to the environment and my mind calmed down, I began to talk more. Where are you from? How did you end up on the street? Do you have family you're in touch with? What's hard for you right now? And so on. Admittedly, while I was being genuinely empathetic, their responses would also trigger my judgmental thoughts. Two things were occurring at once. My heart was swelling for them, and my head was going off. There was one man who I sat down across from to give the gift of my coaching. It was, I thought, the best thing I could offer. The conversation went something like this. Hey, I'd love to help you, man, I said. Help me with what? He asked. His question threw me. Maybe he'd given up already. Maybe he was convinced there was no way out. If so, I was ready to show him otherwise. You know, your situation, getting off the street, I said. Hey, I don't need any help. You're the one who needs help, he said. Now I was really thrown. Oh, how so? I asked. I've got nothing to lose. I'm happy, he said. Oh, you're happy here? I asked. Gesturing to the shelter, I was both genuinely surprised and knee-jerking with sarcasm. Yep, but you've got plenty to lose. And look at you coming down here searching for something. It's written all over your face. Stunned into silence, all I could do was look at him. He looked back at me. His eyes were steady as you'd expect from a man who was happy and had nothing to lose. How can we help you? As he asked me that question, the tables in the shelter turned. Between us sat the empty Tupperware container I'd filled with cookies and handed out earlier, a gesture of goodwill, gratitude, and generosity given from my place of strength to their place of struggle. But in that instant, the meaning flipped, and I suddenly saw how the cookies had been my currency, unconsciously traded to buy something. But what exactly had I been hoping to buy? Initially, I thought it was understanding why these people lived as victims, why they felt powerless. In time, though, I realized something much deeper. My judgment of their victimhood revealed my absolute terror of ever becoming a victim myself. My identity as a creator, someone resourceful and empowered, was compulsively forged against that fear. I saw how the question at the center of my life and work, how am I creating this while empowering, was also compulsive. I wasn't free to fail, to be unresourceful, and to need help. Ironically, by compulsively pursuing the freedom to create, I wasn't truly free. this is the dark side of being a powerful creator. And instead, this is the dark side of being a powerful creator of radical freedom itself. And so that's my friend, John P. Morgan on Facebook. I'll tag him here. I've thought a lot about the compulsion of relentless personal growth. And there was a time when I was able to, I thought a lot about relentless personal growth. I've been involved in relentless personal growth since I was 14, 15 years old. I somehow landed in this as a profession for over 20 years. Most of those years entirely successful. Last year, not successful. I mean, according to my bank account. This year, not going so great. But I'm compulsed to not let myself fail. And not in a good way. I'm pretty sure it's one of the reasons I haven't been writing as much or creating. I've been doing a lot of getting ready to get ready. And that statement from my friend John, pulling it up over here on my screen. How am I creating this? While empowering was also compulsive. I also personally believe that, and one of the things I've come to in my personal growth and coaching journey, I personally don't pay attention to leaders in this space who don't acknowledge systemic injustice. There's a thing that whether it's religion or spirituality or personal growth that has taken our desires and churned them into compulsion in a toxic individualism sense. I wasn't free to fail, to be unresourceful, to need help. Some maybe call it surrender. I don't necessarily want to call it the dark side of being a powerful creator. Maybe it is. It's just a side of it that most of us don't explore. And listen, I don't want to explore it, but it is exploring me. John, thanks for the contemplation.